Sup guys, today we're going to be looking at Puppey playing Weaver. Weaver fights really well early, so instead of going to the off lane, he decides to wrap around here and try and fight for the rune and get kills with his team. When you're doing stuff like this where you have no vision of the enemy, saving your Sakuchi cooldown before you go up ramps is always nice, and that's why Puppey takes a while to go up. A lot of players in a situation like this would maybe just be content with getting a bounty, but Puppey tells his teammates to fight with him because they have two bulky boys and Weaver is really hard to catch, so there's definitely a chance that they can fight for the bounties and maybe get a kill. Puppey only shows about 5 seconds before the rune spawns, which is definitely going to be a surprise for Dire. They decide to commit for this bounty thinking this is a 3 versus 2, but they were not prepared for Puppey. Another thing Puppey does really well here is he doesn't run to the bounty as soon as he secures this one. There's still damage to be done, and they just zone Dire away, and he also doesn't know if the mid player was there waiting for that bounty, so he has more potential doing things here first, and after he's sure he zoned everyone out, he goes to the bounty. Watch how Puppey cancels the clarity here, but his goal is not to harass the Lich, he actually wants to chase Tusk to make sure he's not gonna get those creeps without taking damage. This next Sakuchi is really good because he positions himself to block Tusk after it ends, so creeps are doing damage to him, and he also forces a tag team usage from the Tusk that he doesn't really want to commit for because he's taking way too much damage. Puppey thought that this camp was blocked, but in reality it was his ogre that blocked him with its body, and still, he gets lucky by finding a rune that Tusk probably placed when he was going for those creep pulls. Weaver is a great hero because she can assist from really far away, and not only that, even when she doesn't assist because of the mobility, she benefits greatly from the experience. Another thing Puppey does here is, as they zone Dire again and a creep wave is pushing, he pulls and he actually is able to deny 2 range creeps. Look how much time he spends trying to just deny those range creeps from Dire. Because Tusk just died, he actually wraps around here to try and give Tusk the chance to TP bottom to make sure he's not going to be able to interrupt his gank middle. At the end of the day, Tusk was actually pretty smart, didn't TP bot, but they get the kill nonetheless. Since Puppey already rotated mid and it's getting pretty close to the 4-minute mark, his best course of action is to try and scout a rune. Knowing that Tusk got invis, he actually leaves a sentry mid in case his mid needs help, and he runs to the other side of the map where he might be able to find someone unprepared, and Tusk is not going to be able to help in time. Now that it's nighttime, he uses Sakuchi to ward top because Nature's Prophet can lane versus Naga but can die to a rotation. So this ward is very hard to deward and it's gonna help his Nature's Prophet to be fine. Eventually his OD gets ganked, and watch how he is patient. Puppey waits until 2 targets are together so he can get the bugs on 2 of them, and by attacking the lowest HP target, he ends up getting a kill on the Batrider. Not only that, he actually saves his OD, baits the Underlord to go for a kill, he gets denied by Roshan, and because of those earned charges, they're able to get another kill. Now, this is one of the few TPs we can see Puppey using in the early game, and that's because Nature's Prophet just TP'd there and he cannot go to the tower. His OD already TP'd mid, and there is a lot of experience being wasted top. Usually, just leaving an area like this can be really dangerous for your own team, but they got a couple of kills, so he knows his allies are safe, and he's gonna benefit greatly from this. As you can see, Tusk is showing mid, and Naga is not ready to fight. So, as he protects his Nature's Prophet here, he sees an opportunity for a fight and quickly gives the call to go bottom. Usually you see supports getting outposts pretty close to the 10-minute mark just so no one can steal it, but because he's a Weaver, he actually gets it a little early to try and steal the other bounty with Sukuchi since he's so mobile, and he almost gets it. Instead of being afraid of a level 10 Naga, Puppey uses the knowledge that supports are showing bottom and that Naga is really far away from the tower to constantly trade versus her, even though it doesn't seem that good. Eventually, he trades all of the Naga's mana and a TP for time lapse, and that's gonna buy a lot of time for him to get experience in this lane, and it's going to really reduce how much Naga can farm. Even though his Nature's Prophet dies top when he leaves there, he knows a lot of heroes TP top to go for that kill. And look what he does in just a couple of seconds. It really doesn't matter that Naga doesn't die here. This is the second time in a very short period of time he forces a terrible TP from her, and she's not gonna farm for the next 30 or 40 seconds. And because she's the win condition on the dire side, this suddenly becomes unbearable for them. Also, because Underlord is dead and he knows Naga cannot be a part of this fight, he quickly TP's top, and they wreak havoc. Not only Puppey forces a bad TP from the Batrider, what happens here is the Underlord tried to assist his team, he cannot do it, and this is another lane the Dire cannot farm, so Underlord is stuck. Everyone on the Dire side cannot go anywhere, and mostly this is a result from Puppey's movements. After he pushes the top lane to the tower, he decides to assist bottom, but Underlord cancels his TP. Watch how aggressive he plays, even though he knows he cannot really kill Underlord, but he's just forcing everything in an attempt to make sure Dire chokes and cannot get farm anywhere. Alright guys, thank you for watching, commenting and subscribing. If this video was interesting to you, make sure to leave comments and talk about it. In case you're interested in coaching, DM me on Twitter to get all of the rates and information you need. If you want this channel to keep thriving, make sure to check our Patreon, maybe a reward there interests you. And finally, if you want to learn how to play Dota, maybe you're afraid to play Dota by yourself, we have a great Discord community where you can find people from all around the world to play with you. Also check my Twitch channel in case you want to see me play or cast Dota too. Thank you a lot, have a good one, and now enjoy the highlights from this game if you're interested.